Hi guys, we're waiting on you to come in, come in, come in.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi guys. Let me just share this to the personal page here because I'm doing this from the fan page. So, waiting on you to come in. Hi Gaspar, what's up? Petrotrin people in the house, boy. All they serious about supporting all the comrade, boy. So, Gaspar, we're just waiting on some others to join us. And while you're at it here, Gaspar, share the live feed so that other people could weigh in on what we're talking about tonight. So, while you're at it, just share the feed for me, please. Share the live feed so that people could weigh in on what we're talking about tonight. So, while you're at it, just share in what we're talking about tonight. Hi, Rosie, thanks for that sound test there. You hear me? Just let me know if you all are hearing me. Is anybody hearing music in the background? Are you all hearing music? Let me know if you're hearing a little music in the background too. Kind of try to spice it up a little. You know that? Yeah guys, welcome. So I'm just waiting for a few more people to come on, not very many, I'm not waiting much longer. So I just want to make sure I have my phone so that I can actually see the comments and the questions and stuff coming in when we start. So, special good evening to everyone who's joining us on the live. It's wonderful to share in this space with you. So right, they hear me loud and clear. Okay. I want to make sure I can see the questions and who's joining me and everything. This is looking good. I'm getting young. Hey! Whoever is that you answer, you must always be on this live. You must always be on this live, man. I'm getting young. Is young are getting me? Yeah guys, so let me see who's joining me. We have Ansel Henry, we have Gaspar, we have Kendall Neck Davis, right? Rosie from St. Vincent. Rosie, I don't know how I just miss you on the live all the time, but I apologize profusely. You are my most wonderfulest friend. I love you dearly, so I'm never going to miss you on the live again. Thank you for joining us all the way from St. Vincent. Carlos Francois, owner of, remember I was sporting this exercise wear yesterday. Energized Seal, owned by my brother. So he's also on the live with us this evening. Hey Ansel, what going on, boy? Happy New Year. Happy New Year 2019. Because I haven't seen or heard from you since last year, as you would normally say. So all the best to you and Tasha, small girl. Yeah guys, so welcome. Welcome to this week's edition of the V-Spot. It is always fabulous having you with me. I know everybody has a million and one things that they could be doing, but you chose to spend this time with me this evening and I'm really grateful for it. I have with me a special guest that we'll talk more to and about him a little later on. I want to encourage you as soon as you get on to share this live video because we're talking about some really important things and we want the word to get out. So share the video, share it to your friends and help us get the word out and help us get the word about the V-Spot out. Share the video. We have some exciting prizes. We have stuff to give away, but only if you share the live feed because that's how it is. It's give and take. Help us to build our audience by sharing the video. Thank you for all of you who are joining us this evening. I thought I may have had a few more Petrotrin people. It's not as if we're going to work and they come home late or something. I don't know. I know myself, but I'm happy for those who are here.
Yes.
I'm really happy for those who are here. So let me see, I have a couple of things I want to mention before we jump on to talking with Linda. So a lot of people are inboxing me and asking me to share certain things that they're doing or certain activities that they're involved in or just, you know, just in general to get the word out about certain things. And I have to pick and choose kind of really carefully as to what I'm promoting. I tell people I don't particularly like to promote what I haven't tried or what I can't say for sure is something good. Like if somebody asks me about something, I like for myself to I like to test it so that when I tell you something good, I'm telling you from my experience. So some I jump on, some but this one I think is kind of something that I'd like for you all to jump on. And this was sent to me by Trizara Bain. It's about this massage therapy program that the Aesthetic Institute of Trinidad and Tobago is promoting or presenting. And it's basically an 8-week program for beginners, so you don't have to have any experience in massage therapy. And the classes are going to be held on a Sunday, so for working people and for people who go to school and still want to do it but they don't have time during the week to do it. The classes are going to be held on a Sunday. So it's very convenient for working people and people who go to school. The cost is $4,000 and they're actually offering a 10% discount to expatriate employees, I guess.
Okay.
Because they know that there are few of us out there who are looking at kind of dabbling in the entrepreneurial stuff now. So you want to look at getting new skills or developing a new skill set. So they're actually offering a 10% discount to expatriate employees. So 10% of $4,400, and it starts in February, and all the information is available on the page of the Aesthetic Institute of Trinidad and Tobago. So you can Facebook them, the Aesthetic Institute of Trinidad and Tobago. Any one of you who, you don't have to be a veteran person, but any one of you who would have been interested in doing massage therapy, whether it's for your personal use or whether it's for development of a business or anything like that, check out the Aesthetic Institute of Trinidad and Tobago. They have this wonderful program. It's starting in February. And as I said, you don't have to have any experience. $4,000 and a 10% discount to expatriate employees. So it's a kind of little push, and I'm thankful for that. So check that out if you're interested. Hi Burns. Hi John McGuire. Hi Stacy. How's New York, girl? Other than cold. So yes, guys. I tell people initially when the idea for the V-Spot came, I wanted to basically focus or showcase a number of different things. Okay, art, music, entertainment related stuff, and people with entrepreneurial ideas. Because I think, the way the country is going, or the way the economy is going, I think that we should try to encourage people to kind of tap into whatever their skills are. Hi Kenny, hi Lisa. Thanks for joining us. Kind of tap into whatever their skills are. It's not very easy being a business person or owning your own business or being self-employed. I tell somebody the other day. Somebody asked me something and they say, I said, please, I'm unemployed. And they said, well, don't say unemployed. Say you're between engagements, or say you're self-employed. It sounds so much better when we say we're self-employed. It's hard work, but from now on, I'm self-employed. I might be getting an income yet, but that income will soon come. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Jade. Hi, Carla. Kenny, what's up? Thanks for joining us on the live. Yes, so I said that in this space, I really would like to focus on people who are interested in moving forward and kind of just need a platform or need a push and need to reach other people. Hi, Omed. Special good evening to you. So I kind of looked for people, and a number of people inboxed me letting me know, Vaughn, this is the plan that I have post Petrotrin or post, because not necessarily only Petrotrin people. We have people who have lost their jobs all over for whatever reason, who are kind of dabbling into stuff that they kind of just need a little encouragement, and I thought that this may be a good platform for that. So I was talking to Lynn, and I don't know how the conversation came up about that, or I don't know. You posted something on Facebook.
The Loop article.
Exactly. It was an article that was run by Loop TT that was showcasing Lyndon and his intent to address his situation post Petrotrin. And I'm saying to myself, but wait, this is my colleague. We work in the same place. I didn't even know Lyndon had all them plans, But I thought that for the first guest or the first interview for the V-Spot, I should really have Lyndon, because I think it's wonderful what he's trying. and it's wonderful, his intent, and I really want to see it go somewhere. So I thought I'd have Linda here in Library on the V-Spot. So we'll start off just by letting Linda tell you a bit about himself, and I'm creating this space for him to share part of him, regardless of what. This is just us kind of vibing with each other, and him sharing part of himself and his struggle and his story with you, and I guess you'll understand his intent to get into business. So, Lyndon, welcome to the V-Spot.
Thank you.
Welcome to Library.
I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about you. Who is Lyndon McClatchy?
Well, I am a single father of 2 kids. I have a daughter who's 18.
Wow.
And a son who's 11.
Right.
And 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with renal failure.
Right.
Not much people know. So I'm more or less now getting this out.
Yeah. You know, amazingly, Lyndon, you said that 6 years ago you were diagnosed with renal failure. I remember being somewhere on the base, and somebody was talking about the operator, the guy with the kidney issues, and I'm saying, well, who? Because I had absolutely no clue. I see you. You look fairly healthy to me. Your spirit hasn't changed. Your outlook hasn't changed. So I don't see somebody who's sick when I see you. So I was kind of confused. It's like, Clashy?
Now, in the beginning, when the doctor told me that your kidneys are failing, I went into a state of, I could say depression.
Right.
Because I lost my appetite, I wasn't eating, I lost a huge amount of weight.
Right.
And I kind of resisted starting dialysis.
Right.
For almost a year and a half.
Wow.
And it got to the point where the doctor decided, yeah, what? You're going to kill yourself.
Right.
So, and he sent me for dialysis, and he said, you're feeling like nothing wrong with you now. Because I was walking around like normal. I didn't feel anything was wrong with me.
Right.
And I can tell you that after that first session of dialysis, I felt the difference.
So you didn't know how if you don't know something wrong and you're walking around normal, it's only when they fix it you realize how wrong it was.
So it's at that point in time that I realized that, okay, this is not a death sentence. Right. Dialysis is a way to help me to regain some semblance of what my life was supposed to be like or could be like.
Right. Well, let me ask this question. How does a generally healthy young person go from being just that to renal failure? How, I mean, without symptoms or without what?
Well, generally, most patients who end up with kidney failure or renal failure, as it is caused by diabetes, polycystic kidneys, lupus, multiple myeloma, these are the things that lead most of the time, and high blood pressure.
Right.
So when they check, up to now they can't really pinpoint exactly what it is caused my renal failure.
Right.
Because I do have polycystic kidneys, I do have multiple myeloma, tested for lupus, everything, the whole spectrum. The kidneys just stop functioning.
Wow.
They reach a point where it's like you reach a point and it just went over a cliff.
Do you have anybody in your family with stuff like that?
I have an older brother who died of renal failure. That was 25, 26, or 27 years ago.
So did the doctors mention anything about it maybe being just hereditary? I don't know, because it's so strange.
They tested for, they said that because of the area in Africa where most of the slaves came from,
right.
There's a problem there with sleeping sickness.
Right.
So there's a gene that we carry that, well, we don't have sleeping sickness in the Caribbean,
right.
But African males and females, they carry this gene sometimes that it causes different organs to just shut down.
Wow. That's so strange to me though. And I mean, okay, fine. Renal failure is the end. Let's say we have a long line. Renal failure is it that you had no symptoms, or is it that maybe you were having symptoms and you didn't really associate it with anything? Or
No, it wasn't
nothing like that?
associated with the symptoms. I don't really have any. I never retain water. I didn't have the problems with flushing fluid and thing out your body.
Right. No
The
problem
only-
urinating and that kind of
No,
thing.
the only problem I had was the tiredness.
Tiredness.
The only symptom I had was the
then,
tiredness.
well, that could be me. Because I always tired.
That's why-
Tired is my name. That's why. I mean, when people genuinely tired, you hardly likely to go to the doctor because you're tired. You feel it's just you're tired. You're tired. It's your lifestyle. You're going here. You're going there. You're doing this. You're doing that, and you're tired. So you're hardly likely go to the doctor because you're tired.
Because
So.
but there was some point in time where I got an injury to my back. That was in early 2000, and I was on this painkiller for a long period of time for chronic back pain.
Acoxia?
No.
Or something like that?
The one does give you the injection for I can't remember it right now, but
One of them
it's
is-
something like Motrin,
Okay.
but it's a little stronger. But I was on that for a long period of time, and they said that could have caused the kidneys to they could have damaged the kidneys too.
Okay, because that's the next thing. You know, sometimes we're taking medication for extended periods for a number of different things, like my grandmother who was diabetic for over 30-something years. And of course, you're taking medication 5, 6, 7, 8 tablets per day. What do you expect to happen with your system? You understand? So those things sometimes...
Orphan.
Orphan. Oh. Kind of like a muscle relaxant.
Yes,
Right.
because of the injury to my back, and then with the offshore with the boats I used to be getting
Right.
chronic back pain.
Okay. So you said that they were not able to identify any causal factor in terms of, okay,
Any
this is
specific,
what, any
yeah.
specific. Hi Stevie, hi Celia. As I said, thank you all for joining us. The requirement is for you to share this live. Please, can you help us share this live to get the word out? We're talking some really good stuff. Well, I don't want to say it's good information, not necessarily good stuff, but it's good information for people to have. So we'd really like you to just share the live, hashtag the V-Spot. Please kind of just share the live so that we could get the word out. Hashtag Von and Big Fun. Share the live. So we're talking with my ex-colleague Lyndon McClatchy, who has renal failure at age. When were you diagnosed with renal failure?
6 years ago at 40.
At 40. Wow. How has that journey been for you? I mean, I understand that you said that initially you went into a state of depression. I probably would have gone into a state of depression or denial myself.
Yeah.
You know, but was it? What was it? Was it? Because you hear dialysis, and if a doctor told me that I had to get dialysis, I would be devastated, because for me, I don't know very much about dialysis, and for me, dialysis almost sounds like a near-death sentence. It's the last thing they could do.
It's the last thing they could do.
And you don't know. And for me, that's what dialysis sounds like. But you've been doing dialysis for how long?
3 years.
For 3 years. And you look fine. You look like Lyndon. You understand? So sometimes, you know, we just need to kind of debunk the myths about certain things. Hi Arthur. Hi Ingrid. North Carolina in the house. Yes, so tell me about the emotional process for you, because sometimes we don't understand that. Okay, like for me, I tell people I had a really bad pregnancy, and immediately after when Isaiah was delivered, I went into serious depression. I couldn't figure out why. For me, many months after, I realized it was simply because my body was just so tired. I was just so tired. I felt like I didn't feel like what I felt like pre-pregnancy. My body felt different. I was tired all the time. It's a cesarean, it's appendix, it's everything, and I just went into a depression. And to be honest, I still have my moments of depression. But I remember the depression coming right after Isaiah was delivered. And it's still here. I have my good days, I have my bad days, I'm managing it, but it's still here. But tell me how you dealt or what you did to cope.
Well, I still have my good days and I have my bad days. There are times when I don't even want to come out of the house.
Yeah.
The only time I come out of the house is to go for treatment. But as I said, when I realized that dialysis made a difference in how I felt, and I realized that this is what is going to keep me healthy, is going to keep me around for my kids, my whole outlook changed.
Yeah.
And then too, I had to attribute that to the type of holistic treatment we were getting at Augustus Long, because those nurses and attendants there, they really know how to keep somebody's mind up there.
Right.
You know, the dialysis is not just the treatment, filter in your blood, putting it back into your body. It's a whole holistic. They used to keep us. They call us at the night if they feel, you know, we have the opportunity to call them if we have any problems.
Right.
If we need somebody to talk to, we call them. You know, they keep us out there, they keep us up there.
That's wonderful. So he's talking about the experience or the treatment or what he would have gotten at the Augustus Long Hospital. Of course, you know, the Augustus Long Hospital was associated with the company that is now
Closed.
No more. So you do not have the option of Augustus Long as a treatment center.
No.
So what do you do, or what are you currently doing?
Well, I have since transferred to Acropolis Medical.
Right, that's
in San
okay,
Fernando
in
on
San
Circular.
Fernando. So this is of course not free.
No.
Definitely not free. Would you mind like telling us like how much, or tell me exactly what is the process? Dialysis. When you go for dialysis, you leave, you go home. Is there any like prep? You have to prep your body before or anything like that?
Well, now that we get accustomed to it, you don't have to really prepare as much. It's a simple process. They use the fistula, inject the needle into the artery and the other needle into the vein. The blood comes out one way, it goes through the machine filters, it goes back in the next way. When you finish, you go home, you eat something, you get some rest, and your body builds back up.
And how long is that process? The process
3.5
of emptying? 3.5 hours.
Sometimes 4.
And you do that
3 days a week.
3 days a week.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Wow. Jeez.
It's something I get accustomed to.
Hi, Miss Bradshaw. Hi, Vanessa, Thomas, James, Ricardo. Hey, thanks for joining your sister. Stacy, Allison. Hey, Allison. Allison, I need to have you on this program next. Sis. Allison is another one of my colleagues with a wonderful idea that I really need to share with you all. So hopefully Allison is going to come on the program next. But I'm talking to Lyndon and I'm thinking 3 days a week, boy. It's sounding daunting enough, but if it's the only option, what else do you do?
It's the only option.
Yeah. Wow. What about lifestyle change as it relates? Okay, so apart from the fact that you're giving 3.5 hours of your life 3 days a week, any other required lifestyle change to ensure that you maintain optimum health?
Yes, you have to take your medication and you have to keep your blood pressure under control. You have to, your diet is very important. Your diet and your water intake, you have to watch your water intake.
In terms of watch your water intake, too much water
Too
or
much water
too
is
little
not
water?
good. Too much is not
water.
good, too little is as well, but too little is better than too much.
Really? And you would think it's the opposite because the kidney is supposed to be filtering, so they need water to help them.
Yes, but remember your kidneys not functioning as they should.
Right.
So the rate of removal would be slower than...
Right. So I guess they'll give you an idea of how much the optimum or the right amount of water to intake. That's
Yes,
interesting.
but you have to know your limits as well.
Any other? So what can you not eat, or what should you not eat?
No beef, no pork.
Oh, Father Lord. Pork is the greatest
Pork
meat.
is the greatest meat in the world.
The greatest meat on the face of the earth.
No. I cut down on the amount that you eat.
Right, so cut down on your portions.
Cut down on your portions.
Which I mean, we all should generally do, because we eat these large plates of food and we don't need
Trinidadians love
yeah,
meat.
Yeah, boy.
We love meat.
Well, let me tell you something about me, So my husband has recently decided that he's going off of meat because he said he went to a doctor and he asked the doctor what's the best type of meat to eat, and the doctor told him the one that has no legs. What I mean?
Fish.
Exactly. So in other words, no meat. I mean, gosh, you hear me now? I don't need to have a big set of meat, but I need to have meat, boy. At least a little piece. I tried a vegetarian thing, Mazzy, for 2 days, boy. I find vegetarians have no reason to live.
I have, since doing this, I eat vegetarian sometimes.
Right.
I cut out the meat. I eat plain straight vegetarian a couple of days for the week and stuff like that. I find it works a lot. It works better for me.
Okay. Well, I guess we have to do what is necessary. Hi, Marsha. Hi, Gray. Gray, your foot hot. Christine Jack, Gail Mohammed, no pork. No pork. If you see the exclamation mark, no pork.
I can imagine.
Yes, I love food too. We all love food, but guys, guess what? Especially I tell people, I'm 44 years old. The things that I would have been eating at 25, I shouldn't be eating at 44. And that's just how it is. Regardless of the fact that we think, the fact that the matter is when we get older, there are certain things that don't happen the way it should happen, and we should try our best to kind of, I mean, I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to myself as well. In terms of exercise, are you still required to exercise?
Yes.
And like weights and stuff, or what?
No.
A simple walk?
Simple walk. Now remember, in this state, you don't have a lot of energy because your blood don't carry the amount of oxygen that it should, because of the amount of pollutants that it still remains, because the kidney is not functioning as they should.
Right.
So your oxygen load is not as it should be. So you don't want to overdo it.
Okay.
But a brisk walk early in the morning when the sun is now coming out, where you could get that vitamin D, is excellent. Don't overdo it too much during the day. In the evening, you could go for a nice slow walk with the kids.
Right. You said your children are, one is 18 and one is
11.
What was their take on this? Like when they heard, or did you tell them, were you honest in telling them this is the situation?
I didn't tell them anything until that day I ended up in the hospital to do the dialysis, the emergency dialysis and stuff.
Right.
That was on me. I didn't tell them Daddy was sick. So when they came to visit me, that's when I told them exactly what is happening and why I am here. And my daughter asked, she said, Daddy, are you dying? I said, well, with the dialysis now, no.
Okay.
It's a way to keep me around for an extended period of time. And there's other things that I have to do, that follow my diet, exercise, the medication, so that we could prolong life as long as possible.
Yeah, and that's kind of important. I remember my father got very ill when I was 16 years old. My father had a massive heart attack, and he was in ICU for a number of days, and that really took a toll on me. I was close to exams, and it was almost close to devastation for me, because I just saw that my father was leaving me at just 16 years old. Mind you, I ain't telling all the story about how he signed himself out of ICU and all that drama, because he ain't staying in no hospital with no nurse who watching private parts and all kind of thing. But my father need a whole new life by himself, right? But it's not easy for children or teenagers.
Yeah.
If your daughter's 11 now, it means that 4 years ago she would have been 7.
My son.
Your son. Right. And to think about the fact that, my father is ill, and it's not easy for children. So I'm glad that they're doing well. I know you're older. I know the older of the two. She's beautiful. You should see how lovely this child is. Very brave and bold and confident young lady. So he seems to be doing a really wonderful job with his children. So let me see who else is here. Eat meat in moderation. Fish is always better. Of course, Gail is a kid. They're asking. Burns is asking, is a kidney transplant an option?
Yes, kidney. I'm on the transplant list. There was one, I got an opportunity to receive a kidney already, but my body would have rejected it.
Right.
Because of the reaction with the blood and the tissue, they know it would have rejected it. So we're waiting for another opportunity.
Okay, so yes, he's saying yes, he is on the kidney transplant list. Hi Elise, it was really nice seeing you today. Steve Dipnarayan, Sharon Bertrand, Sheena. Guys, thank you very much.
On that note, I want to encourage more people to donate, to
Yeah.
be donors. If you're young and you can get on the donor list, so that if something happens to you, you could pass on your organs to somebody who really needs it.
You know, I want to do that. I've always wanted to do that. What is the process for doing that? Do you know?
You just get a donor card
Yeah.
and keep it on you, so that if anything
I want to do
happens,
that. I think I want to do that. I've always wanted to do that. I think I mentioned that to my mother or something before, and I can't remember what the response was, but I think I mentioned that after looking at some movie. But that's something I need to kind of explore a little, because
or
I
you
think
could
I would want to
register
do that.
with the National Organ Transplant Unit at Mount.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking, if something happens to me and I go there, somebody will be getting a real nice heart, you know. Because I real best and all, yeah. I real best. My heart like real nice, yeah. That's just, okay. Elizabeth Ann Henry Dyer, AA.
Hey.
Who's she calling you, Pastor Stuart?
Pastor. Good night, Janice.
Welcome, Liz. How are you? Hi, Dexter. Jennifer Cornwall, donor option should be placed on ID cards and on driver's license. So I'm going to, maybe I might hold a live and talk about that, about the process, or see if I can get somebody here to talk about the process. Yes, so Lyndon has this intention or this plan to open a dialysis center. Tell us more about that.
Well, my dream is to the experience that I had at Augustus Lung Hospital, I realized that it's largely responsible for the condition that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to pass that experience on to other people who are like me. Also, we see that the cost of dialysis, the cost is very expensive. And
Per session,
average about $1,100. So I want to be able to bring that down. I want to be able to make a contribution to be able to do that for people who can't afford it.
What do people, because I mean generally at $1,100 a session, how many people could really afford to do dialysis?
Well,
Or what happens to the people who can't afford to do dialysis? I don't know too much about the public system. Anybody out there know about the public system and how it works for dialysis?
The public system is like the government pays up to $15,000 a month per patient to the dialysis center.
Okay. Oh.
You have to register with the social workers at the hospital, and they would review your case, see if you could actually afford it.
Right.
If you can't afford it, then they get you onto the system.
Okay. Well, that's kind of hopeful.
Yeah.
So you're saying, okay, so you have this idea to open a dialysis center, and this is primarily because you want to make the activity or that process more available, more accessible, and more affordable to the people who. So, what is your plan? What do you have a proposal? How are you planning to finance this? Because I can imagine if it's $1,100 a session, I can imagine it's not going to be very cheap to put this center together. No, it's not going to be cheap
to put the center together. Now, the response has been really nice. Has been really well. I have a couple of people who interested in investing.
Right.
Also, I've dedicated the majority of my severance to financing part of it as well.
That's wonderful, man.
I also have another co-worker who we sat down and came up with the idea together. That is Mr. Rennie Mirez.
Right.
he is
Hey, Rennie, you should have been on our live tonight. What are you doing? Where are you? Why are you not here?
I think he's on his way home from work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's also a part of it. There's another person who called me directly, and he is interested in investing, as well as he has a spot. He has a place that would be absolutely
Perfect
wonderful for it.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Guys, just 1 minute. Guys, please, I know you're here and you're checking it out. Please share this live video. Share this live video so that we can get the message out, we can get the information out, and so that we could get potential investors as well too. Please share the live. Hashtag the V Spot with VB or hashtag Vonnet Big Fun. Please share the live and help us to get, we have prizes to win, and if you have not shared the live, you will not be eligible. So do something for me now, please. Share the live, share the video, and let's get this really important information out. Yes, Linman, sorry to this.
Yes, I don't want to call his name.
Of course,
as
that's
yet,
fine. That's
because
fine.
if he does actually come in, he would be the principal investor.
Right.
So he would be the man leading the charge because of who he is now.
Okay.
So it's already been in the process of being registered.
Right.
The name search has already been done. We're going to call it Legacy Medical Supplies and Dialysis Center.
Okay.
So as soon as we have that, we would then have to write the Ministry of Health, the minister, the permanent secretary, and all who involved in that process to get the process going,
Okay.
to get involved.
Is this going to
in
be
it.
based in South and North?
Yes,
and
it's going to be based in South because between Cedros and San Fernando, there's
Yeah,
no
very
dialysis
center.
center. So we have identified the spot in Point Fortin. So we're going to be in between.
Point for Tani. I don't want to say even better for the town people because I don't know, I love you, but we really need it down here. We really need it down in these parts. And I think it's such a wonderful idea for you because, I mean, seriously, really and truly, had I been you, I might have just been trying to do my dialysis 3 times a week and surviving. You understand? But it's really important. I tell people, if your situation does not make you think about making this situation better for someone, then we would have failed. And I really think this is wonderful. Potential investors or people who are interested, do you have a proposal, a business plan or something that they could see?
Not yet.
Okay.
That is still being worked out by Mr. Merez and I, and when the other guy returns from the States where he is right now, we have to sit down and work that out.
Of course, because you know,
Because
people wanting to invest, they want to know what's in it for them, really. What is the return? You know, what is the plan? You know, you really generally don't want to invest in stuff that you're not sure where it's going to end up.
But
So a
it's
business plan.
mostly because of who he is, we want to know what we would need after he comes in.
Okay.
So
So I guess he has to establish how far in he is, and then you can do the gap analysis after that in terms of what
we need and who else,
or who else you could approach. Anybody know out there of any place that would have anything like grants or financing for stuff like that? Bernadette Edmond, you may have an idea because of your network with Cancer Society and stuff like that. If you know of anybody who is who may be interested in investing in something like this, because I mean, I think it's really necessary, and there are people out there who may very well be interested in kind of jumping in, especially South, and then we have big business in South too. You know, I don't know.
Anybody who's interested in donating machines, supplies, there are a whole lot of things that make life comfortable for dialysis patients in terms of the chairs, access, transport from where they live to the dialysis center. Right now we could there are people who come in from quite Cedros to San Fernando to get dialysis, and sometimes they don't have transport. Right. So instead of coming for the sessions that they need, they come for sessions that they could.
Wow.
So instead of 3 sessions a week, sometimes they might be only to make 2 or 1, you know. So all these kind of things we're looking at helping people out or making the situation
better.
It's
not just the sitting on the chair and doing it. It's the entire
it's
process.
the entire process.
From leaving home or even the aftercare, as you said about the people in Augustus Long, the nurses in Augustus Long, and how they made the system or the process so much easier for you, or because of how they dealt with it, the cause. Let me tell you something. I tell people when you walk into a medical facility, you think you're going to see a doctor. You're not feeling well and you're going to see a doctor. But healing starts when you get to that desk and that person is there and that person says to you, "Hi, Miss Bigford, how can I help you today? You're not feeling well?"
Yes.
Or what can I do? Those things help, as against somebody who not engaging. It's not just about the doctor's visit. It's about the entire thing. It's about how you get it. It's about how people treat you when you're in that space. Because when you're feeling sick or when you're not 100%, you don't want nothing to add to that negativity.
True.
So healing starts from when you step into that space. That the first person that greets you and say, "Hey, how was your week, boy?" Or how have you been since the last? That helps.
Yes. If I could shout out a few people.
Sure you can. This is your session.
Wendy Thompson, Nurse Long, Nurse Powder, Nurse Tyson, Nurse Hanson, Nurse Seloge,
Wow.
Attendant Paul, Attendant Smart, the dietitian Tracy, the other dietitian, oh gosh, I can't remember her name right now, but you know who you are.
Exactly.
You know who you
Exactly.
are. Carla Thomas John. Wow, it's a lot of people.
And it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful when you can speak that way about. And guess what? These people were just doing their jobs. But it's not, for them, I guess it's not about showing up for work and just doing what they're being paid to do. It's about the relationship. Yes. It's about caring for other people. I tell people that they're healthcare professionals who really and truly just in it for the money. And you can't be in that business and in it for the money. It's not nice.
See that one of the people who was on dialysis who I spoke to when I started, who really helped me to accept my condition and know, well, hey, this is not a death sentence, was the late Malcolm Jones.
Seriously?
Yeah. We had many sessions and I used to dialyze right next to him. We used to talk all the time.
I'm sure I like him.
Yes, no, we would have like him, serious.
Really?
No,
I hear many people, of course Malcolm Jones used to be the past executive chairman or whatever of Petrotrin.
He was the man who founded the dialysis center
at Augustus Long. I guess maybe because of his condition too. But generally, most people, no, I say that I didn't really like him and never made the man. So you see how out of place I am? I never met him. I'm just talking about in his capacity as whatever, Petrotrin. You understand? Chairman of Petrotrin. You understand? But most people who would say to me, Vonette, if you met him, you'd really like him.
Yes, you would have really. He was a brilliant man.
Yeah.
A brilliant man.
That's good, man. So, as I said, if we have anybody who has any idea of people who may be willing to invest in this project, or if you have any idea about proposal building and business plan building, and it's too much information is good in this instance. And if you're out there and you're willing to contribute in any way, or via product, services, your time, if you to pick up somebody and carry them for dialysis, something like that, because we had to make a difference, bro, and it's the little things that we do that make a difference. And right now I'm home and I have a little time on my hand. I can afford to go and pick up a dialysis patient and carry them for dialysis and wait for them and
bring them back home.
We had to pay it forward. That's the kind of things we have to do to make a difference. You don't have to have $1 million to contribute, or $500,000 to contribute. You understand? But you could just give of your time, give of your energy, comfort somebody, sit down there with them while they do it. You can read a book.
Come to the dialysis center and
check it out.
Rub their feet. Let me give you a story. Sometimes the dialysis, it's like a drying out process. It removes the excess water, urea, impurities and things from your blood. So it kind of dries you down. So that your body now reacts. If you go too dry, you get some serious cramps. The first time that happened to me, I had no idea what was happening. I started to cramp from inside. All the muscles in the back, everything started cramping. And I was able to pick up the phone and call Nurse Powder, and she was there, and she guided me as to what to do to get through the experience, you know. So plenty people don't have that opportunity. Sometimes you go through your thing and you're there by yourself, you know, nobody ain't really know what's going on, you know. So
frightening. And then there are people too. We still have, I tell people I have a very big supportive network family apart from my immediate family. Then this, you know, family of women and supporters, and just family in general, even on Facebook. But there are people out there who really have nobody, boy, and to be going through something like that and you really don't have anybody is not necessarily an easy
we lost one of the guys that way because he didn't have anybody at home to support him, and he went back to his old habits. He suffered a stroke, and you know, I have to thank God for my mother, my sisters, my family, my kids. They are my biggest supporters. I have some friends who call me every day. JJ, shout out JJ, Sunday, Wayne, Renee, Dwight. You know, these guys, they call me every day to find out.
I miss me, guys. I really miss all you know. Hear what I say, man? You know, I loved my job. I tell people that. I loved my job. But I absolutely adore the people that I worked with.
Yes, they mash up a family. You know?
And that's how I feel. I guess that's why we feel hurt too. I absolutely adore the people that I work with. I mean, you get to work in the morning and you go on the base and there's a talk in front of Vargas and then there's a talk and
there's a talk from the front gate straight into your office.
But it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was people working together, but people who genuinely cared about each other, and people who they were willing to show it. And I miss that, and I miss the people, any ex-Petrotrin people out there. I really miss you all. I really miss you all. I mean, apart from everything else, I miss you all. I miss the connection that we had, and it's wonderful when you have colleagues as well who have your back like that too. You know, it's wonderful when you have, it's not just about coming to work and making a shift, but colleagues who are interested in your well-being, interested in knowing that you are doing what you have to do to stay in this space.
Peter Lee, David Sukram.
Peter. Man. So guys, if you have, hi Osei, Marlon, you're just here, Rhea Roberts. Guys, if you've just come into the live, all we ask is that you share the live so that the information gets out. We want people to get the information. We want people to know what they need to do, or we want people to kind of buy into this idea that Lyndon has, which we think is a wonderful idea and will benefit a lot of people. So share the live, please. Hashtag the V spot with VB, or hashtag Von and Bigford, or just share the live so that we could try to get the word out. I don't know if you have any questions for Lyndon. The competition today, and today you're going to, whoever's winning is going to win one of these, either one of my Born to Shine CDs, a vest for the females, or a t-shirt. So basically, the questions that we're going to be asking is, of course, in alignment with the session that we've had. So I will ask the questions after, and the first person to respond will be the person who's gonna win at least one of these items. You have to decide which one. So if you have any questions for Lyndon, you can shoot them now, because we're gonna wrap up in a couple of minutes. So questions about his condition, his struggle, anything as it relates to kidney and renal failure for Lyndon, that in his capacity, of course, he can answer. So yes, thank you all of you who are joining me. Renee, Diane de Goville, you want one of the t-shirts? I'll have to order it for you. Renee, thanks for joining us. Hi Conrad, Jada Murray, how are you doing, girl? Labra can't see you at all, boy. These people in easy, you know, when they see them move the tongue, they're coming back. Labra at all, you know. Labra can't see Jada. Jada, thank you for joining us. Say hi to Jade for me. So anybody with any questions for Lyndon as it relates to what we were talking about? Again, the intent is to open a dialysis center and support center in Point Fortin. If you're interested, or if you know anyone who may be interested in investing, or if you are interested in investing via cash, via time, via services, via products, please kind of just message me, and we'll see how this can work out. But let's pay it forward. Let's do the best that we can do to make our community better. Hi Rhonda, Joan Figaro. Very good program. Thank you very much, Vanessa. I'm trying, it's not always going to be about me playing the fool and singing and all kind of drama. It's we have to get some...
enjoy that.
Of course. And let me tell you something. I just genuinely say, sometimes when I'm upstairs and I'm feeling lonely, I say, them boys play, them boys, I say, hey, I go down to a life and sing something, yes. And then people come on and we talk and we laugh. So it's as much as you enjoy it, I enjoy it just as much as well too. So... yeah, so no pork boy, Lyndon. Are you still on the no pork scene, boy? He said no pork. Yes. So, the red meat limited.
What is cheat?
I'm sure you would cheat. Limited on the red meat. He spoke about exercise. He spoke about the right kind of water intake. Let me ask a question. How is this everyday for Bigfoot? No, this is not every day. This is about once per week, once every 2 weeks. This is when Von and Bigfoot feel actually bad. So, but if you want to invest in this program, I can do it a little more often. You're a businessman now, so put your money where your mouth is. I heard that. I'm somebody saying I'm touched by Lyndon's confidence. That's my friend Rose Claire from St. Vincent. Does Lyndon have a start date for the center, potential start date?
Within a year, because we have to go through it's only when the government puts out the tender or the prospectus for the dialysis program,
right,
that you could apply, but you have to establish your center first.
Okay.
So that.
So suppose you establish a center and then when you go there and want it, is there any way they can say no?
Well, yeah, there is a possibility they could say no, but then that's why we're looking at getting private patients too as well.
Right.
So the intent is to bring the cost down as much as possible to make it affordable for people who can pay.
Yeah.
And if there are people who could pay and who are on the government system, well, they try to get them in as well.
Okay. Okay, let me see other question. This guy looks totally different. How can we purchase Von and Bigfoot t-shirts? You could just simply inbox me, Sharon. I'll organize for you. Just inbox me size and whatnot, and I'll organize that for you. I'm just looking at what are the initial signs of having kidney failure. Well, as Lyndon was saying before, you were saying that you didn't really have any symptoms other than the fact that you were always tired.
There's they could look at there's a test that you could do.
Right.
A kidney function test.
Right.
That is the most accurate indicator.
So there's one where they measure your creatinine level and that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or
Or they measure how well you do with glucose removal from your body.
Ah.
They give you a concoction to drink.
Right.
And after about an hour or two, they measure you.
Oh. So guys, here lies the importance of screening and continued medical assessment. If I was at Petrotrin, I would talk about baseline, about the annual medicals. But in the case of people who are not confined to this annual medical requirement, we need to continuously go and check these things. Especially when you get to a certain age. As far as I'm concerned, from the time you hit 40, you should start doing these checks. Men and the prostate checks, women and the pap smears and the mammograms and stuff like that. We really take things like that for granted. I had a friend who's 40-something years and has never done a pap smear. These things are really important because this is where you can detect whether your system is functioning the way it should function, whether your organs are functioning the way it should. Other than that,
the sad part is that there are a lot of people walking around with high blood pressure and they don't know. Because after a while, the body gets accustomed to it.
Yeah. kind of almost regulating itself to believe that this is what is normal.
And high blood pressure is one of the worst things that does lick up your kidney. Your body tells you when something is wrong. Listen to it.
Someone is saying every setback in life is actually a setup. I believe that this is the start of great things for you. All the best, Lyndon. Thank you very much, Simone. Bako, how are you going, boy? Marsha. Yes, of course. Minka Bazi saying early detection for everything. Early detection can save you. And you are very correct. Of course, we're not disciplined. We're not disciplined enough to go to the doctor if we're not feeling unwell. You go to the doctor if you're feeling good. Who really going to the doctor? I say, we're going to get a doctor like my father. Where am I getting my doctor my money for? Yeah, I go to. But sometimes so many things undermining. There are so many things happening, and you don't know unless sometimes you go do a test. But it's to get people into the habit of actually going to test when you don't really have something, you're not feeling a pain, or you don't have a headache and stuff like that. That's the discipline that some of us don't have. And when I say some of us, I'm including me, of course I'm including them, because sometimes it's the same thing with me. Sometimes I don't be feeling sick and I go by the doctor much. Yes, so if you have no further questions for Lyndon, or if you have questions for Lyndon, you can find him on Facebook. I'm sure he'll be quite willing to answer your questions as it relates to anything as it relates to this topic, because he's very free with information. I mean, he wants to open a center. So this tells you exactly how much he's committed to education as it relates to renal failure and solving the problem or helping people deal with the issue. Darren Dyer is saying we need more persons like yourself to step forward and give real life testimonies, not only on renal issues but other chronic illnesses. I need to have a cancer survivor soon. I think so too. I think so too. So because I mean, let me tell you something, we're always far removed from situations when we're not affected. So you hear about somebody, but sometimes you can't connect it to this is something that could actually happen to me. Now let me ask a question. High salt intake.
Yes.
Is that a contributor?
Yeah. High salt intake leads to high blood pressure.
I like salt in it. Yeah, boy. As you put salt in everything, down to Sprite, I just put salt in it now. I like salt. I am bound for sugar so much, but salt, boy.
That is not good.
Yeah.
Well, for me.
Yeah. I don't think it's a good thing for me either, but. So, guys, high salt intake. So you could do a little research as to what contributes to a higher risk of having
everybody's
system is
different.
Yeah.
So that you might be taking your salt and nothing really happened to you.
Yeah.
But somebody else now might do it and.
But it's better stay off of that salt, yes? It's better stay off of that salt. Somebody
have headaches, migraine.
I do have migraine. I'm a migraine sufferer. Yeah. Yeah.
Cut down on that salt.
Yeah. Shulan says that to me all the time. He actually prefers if I don't cook with salt.
Listen to your husband.
I like how you say that. I like how you say that, listen to your husband. Like, it sounds like listen to your husband. I ain't really listening to nobody.
No, listen to him on that count.
On that So guys, again, our guest, the wonderful Lyndon McClatchy, who came to share with us all this wonderful information as it relates to kidney health and renal failure and what you can do, what his struggle has been like, what his journey has been since he was diagnosed with renal failure 4 years ago, which is a long time. As a young man, 6 years ago, at age 40. Could you imagine? So, Lyndon has outlined his intent to open this center which can provide the service of dialysis for people who need it and don't have access and can't really afford as it is right now. So as I said, if you're interested in investing, you're interested in supporting, you're interested in being part of this journey, however, via cash, via products, via services, via the time, we really would love to have you. You can message me, I can put you onto Lyndon and we can start this wonderful network. I don't know if you have any closing remarks or anything that you'd like to say before.
Well, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here, to be a guest on this program, and I hope to see other people with chronic illness come forward and talk to us about their situation.
You know, some people, illnesses are sick, people don't like to really talk about it. And I find this, I mean, I guess each person's journey is different,
yeah.
you know, but a lot of people don't particularly like to speak, and I find people learn so much when you speak, and I find it's almost empowering. Like I tell people, I talk openly about my issues with depression, and it has worked for me so much so that I realize I'm totally not alone in this journey. Because I used to feel very alone. I'm totally not alone. There are people who are dealing with that every day, and they're glad for a kindred spirit to bounce something off one another in a hole for me to say something. So sometimes just the just talking or just talking out helps. You know, I mean, I understand people who don't want to, but I think it's very liberating and empowering when you could speak openly as to what your journey is. Let me make sure we don't have any other questions.
I want to say condolences to the family of Mr. Alfonso. I was one of my, he dialyzed at the center with us as well. Started off at Augustus Long and went to Acropolis. He lost the battle this morning.
Oh, that's my son laughing in the background. Sorry about that.
Condolences to his family.
Okay, so a lot of people saying thank you, Lyndon. Thanks for sharing your story. Say this program make me miss the Trinma family. Yes, of course, and we miss you. All the best, a lot of best, good wishes coming in for you as well. And they're thanking you for sharing your story. So guys, thank you very much. So, hey, wait now, but Lyndon, you know I hear you could I sing?
I could have sing. Yeah, my voice did desert me over the years.
It is also.
Yeah, that kind of sound like a little frog.
Do we have something now? Must have something, man. You must have something in the kitty there still. Must.
A little something, boy.
Yeah, something. You must have something in the kitty, man. Oh God, don't be so. By the way, guys, are you all hearing background music? Let me know if you're hearing music in the background, please. If you are hearing music, that's the music of Ilan Pale, the CD I Am Ilan Pale, and the Trinity Jazz Project. And Theron Shaw's right here, right now. So let me know if you actually hear me. You hear any music? Yes! Local music by local. Pale and the Theron Shaw project right here, right now. So go ahead. Let me hear Lyndon.
Go ahead. A little bear with me. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be.
Everybody's searching for a hero.
People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone to fulfill my need. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow.
If I
fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can take away my dignity. The boys go.
the
Greatest love of all.
Lyndon come to take my walk. This is the last time Lyndon is going to be on this live. No. This is my job, not his. Watch out there. You see my picture here? You ain't seeing his.
She being
guys,
too generous.
She
being too generous. Thank you very much.
We love you. Until the next one. You know, I can't tell you when the next one is, but check it out on Facebook. Bye-bye.